Hi guys, welcome back to another Growing Your Groceries Gold Award Project video lesson. In case you forgot, my name is Talia, and I'm a high school ambassador level Girl Scout currently working on my Gold Award through this project called Growing Your Groceries. I have a very fun lesson planned for you today, so get excited. We're going to be learning all about grocery shopping and especially how difficult grocery shopping can be for someone facing food insecurity. Before we get going, let's take a moment to recall what we learned a few weeks ago. In just a moment, I'm going to have you turn to your table partner or small group and discuss anything you can remember about food insecurity. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to discuss, and then we'll come back together. Welcome back. I hope you all were able to remember that definition of food insecurity. In case you couldn't quite remember, food insecurity is when someone doesn't have access to enough food or the type of food they need to live a healthy life. Now that we've discussed that, let's jump right into our first activity of the day. Go ahead and pause the video here, pass out one copy of Worksheet 3, Grocery Shopping, to each student, and be sure you write your name on your paper once you get it, and then click play once everyone has a paper. For this activity, we are going to be simulating a grocery shopping trip. Here is your task. You are going to pretend that you're going to the grocery store to get your food for the whole week. In order to have enough food for the entire week, you need to make sure you pick 5 fruits or vegetable items, 2 dairy items, 3 protein items, and 4 grain items. However, you only have a budget of $40. That means you cannot spend any more than $40. But if you have a couple of dollars left over, that's okay. Also, remember in this simulation that you're grocery shopping for your food for the entire week. So make sure you keep that budget in mind, but also choose foods you actually enjoy. In a moment, you are going to start making your food choices. Remember to choose the correct amount of foods from each category and also keep that budget in mind. I'm going to give you 10 minutes for this activity. You can go ahead and get started. Alright, so how did that feel? Did you get all the food you wanted, or did you have to make sacrifices to stay under budget? If you thought this activity was easy, consider this. Were there foods that you liked that weren't even an option to purchase? And how does it make you feel that your favorite foods might not have been on this list? Take 3 minutes to discuss with a table partner or small group how you felt during this activity and whether you thought it was easy or maybe a little bit difficult. I hope you all had a great discussion. Now, I will share some of my feelings. I thought this activity was a little bit difficult. Some of my favorite foods were on this list, but I had to give up the foods I loved for what I could afford. This is a huge problem when it comes to food insecurity. Previously, we had talked about food deserts, where it was difficult to find food or there wasn't a lot of grocery stores. But when you look at food insecurity, sometimes there's a ton of food nearby or a lot of grocery stores, but that food can be difficult to afford. For me, in some of the food categories, I had to choose the cheapest food option, even if I did not really like that food, just to stay under budget. Now, we are going to spend some time looking closer into the food choices you might have had to make during this activity. Go ahead and flip to the second page of this worksheet. On the top of this page, you should see two boxes telling you to list different food items. I want you to use the food items and the prices from the previous page and the last activity to answer these questions. For this activity, go ahead and sort the food items that we used in the last activity into these two boxes. Any food that costs $1 is going to go in one of the boxes, and any food that costs $5 or more is going to go into the second box. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to sort out the $1 and $5 or more food items. Go ahead and get started. I noticed something really interesting between the $1 food items compared to the $5 or more food items. I won't share my thoughts quite yet though, because I want to see if you guys can try to figure it out first. In the next box on this page, I want you to work with a table partner or small group to discuss what you noticed between the cheap or $1 food items and the expensive or $5 or more food items. Go ahead and take 2 minutes to discuss and jot down your thoughts. It's time for a quick class discussion about this. Go ahead and pause the video here and have a few students share what they noticed about the $1 versus the $5 or more food items. Then click play and I will share my thoughts. Now that you all have shared your thoughts, I'm going to share what I noticed. Did you see that almost all of the $1 food items are canned? Everything except carrots, which are a cheap, fresh vegetable, came in a can. Now, I'm not trying to say that canned food items are bad, because they're definitely a cheap and delicious way to fit certain foods into your meals. What I am trying to point out is that all of our $5 or more food items were fresh or less packaged. This makes these types of fresh, less processed foods inaccessible to people with a tight budget, like you guys just had in our last grocery shopping activity. Now, if foods like this are so expensive, wouldn't you think we could just leave them out of our meals? I mean, if I decided I didn't want to buy any fruits or vegetables to save money, who's stopping me, right? Well, it's still important that even if you don't want certain foods, everyone has access to all foods. Especially since certain foods, like fruits and vegetables, have tons of nutrients and health benefits, like we learned about in our last lesson. Now it's time for us to answer those two make connection questions at the bottom of your worksheet. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to jot down your answers to those two questions. Alright, now that you have a few ideas, it's time for me to chime in. First off, fruits and vegetables are so important to eat because they contain essential vitamins and minerals and other nutrients that are so important for our health. However, fresh fruits and vegetables can be incredibly expensive, so my favorite way to still eat all the fruits and vegetables you want while cutting down on costs is to grow them yourself. In fact, that's what you've already started doing through our past couple of lessons. Remember those plants you have been growing the past couple of weeks? Those are your first step to cutting down your grocery costs, because what you grow at home is one less thing you have to add to your shopping list. Plus, isn't it fun to watch your plant grow over time? This is my bell pepper plant that has been growing for the past couple of weeks. I'm super excited to harvest the peppers from it once it's matured. Our last thing today is checking on your plant. In just a moment, I'm going to have you go and grab your growth journal and fill out that third row. I hope you see a lot of progress from that first measurement till now. Go ahead and pause here, fill out that third row of your growth journal, and then click play once everyone's done. Great job today. I hope this activity put grocery shopping while facing food insecurity into perspective for you all. Before we leave here today, I want to give you a quick reminder to check on your plant every day. You will not have to fill out the fourth row of your growth journal until we meet again, but until then, make sure you're watering it when the soil's looking dry. I will see you all here again in a few weeks for our fourth lesson, where you will get to learn more about growing your own food at home. See you next time. Bye.